Hey everyone, welcome back to our monthly Sorcery Contested Royal Market Watch for the month of June this time. In May, our first taller show. We'll see if it does the same. This month, we will track non-foil foils as well. I chose not to include Dragon Lord because the supply is so ridiculously small that there wouldn't be any point to add some data and then go over all the market for the Dragon Lord card. So we'll just go over Gothic first, as it's the newest set, and we'll do Alpha, Beta, and to finish the video we'll do Arthurian Legend as well. Gothic last month had a couple of cards that were in the spotlight, namely Pied Piper of Hamelin, and you can tell it's the same thing this month. It went up 111%. Now we need to understand why it went up, and then is this really happening or this market manipulations? You would think the card would go down because it was absolutely busted before, because you could control so many different cards and tokens and such, but it decided to go up. So it just tells me that there's something a little fishy with this card. That just goes to show that when you buy into these cards that have a little bit of a strange price action, you're better off checking the last sold and doing your own work before spending too much money on a card that could potentially be inflated. Baylor of the Evil Eye as well. We went up a lot. It went up 75% across the month of June. But Baylor, we will understand why it went up. Baylor is a really powerful card. He can zap in cross movements or adjacent units. He can zap on the subsurface as well, which is really powerful against root spiders. Root spiders are everywhere, and they're always everywhere, which is unfortunate for us. And the price just matches the card's power. Next, we have Return King. So about the same as Baylor, Return King is a really strong card. Controlling your opponent's card, and you can attack pretty much straight away when you slam the Return King on the board. It is very impressive. So you can just turn the tide of the game straight away with just one card. And the price reflects that as well. Went up 12% and it's sitting at $44 US as a time of recording. Lilith as well went up 10% across the month of June. It's sitting at $75 US. Lilith is also a very strong card. Pretty much our top 5 is the strongest card in Gothic. Price is reflecting the power of the card as well. And then to close the top 5, we have Aino, so another very strong water card. Went up 8.5%, which is pretty normal. I think it's sitting at $51 US as time of recording. Let's go over the top losers of Gothic. We've got Eclipse, which is surprising because this is the air version of Crusade/Jihad. This is a strong card. The evil keyword might be why it's holding back the price a little bit. It went down 23% to $30 US. So if you're looking at building some evil air list, it might be a good time to pick up some Eclipse. In second position, we have Archangel Michael, which has a bit of a retracement, which makes sense. Michael was our top gainer last month. It almost doubled in price over the last 3-4 months. It was sitting at almost $110 US. It's back down to $88 US. It went down 13.7%. I think this is healthy, to be honest. We have the rack in third position. It just went down 6.4% to $30. The rack was one of this card that had a bit of a fishy price action. It is a strong card, but it doesn't really see play in many lists at the moment. In fourth position, we have another Archangel in Archangel Raphael. So Raphael is the water angel. Went down 5.6% to a price point of $33. Archangel Raphael is strong. It's the second strongest angel, arguably. And to close out top losers, we have the Dank Umphos, which is the air and water. It's going down 5.5%, which is a very small correction. These cards tend to hold their price because they're in a lot of lists, they're powerful, they are a bit double-edged sword sometimes, meaning that if you draw an artifact with your own foe as well, it's a feel bad, but this is the only downside of these cards. Consistently being able to draw one more card a turn is massive. We'll toggle to the foil quickly. This is new this month. I've added this just because there has been a lot of strange price action in Gothic foils and then a couple of other categories we'll go over later. So I've introduced what we call a spread. So a spread is what the market decide the price is and what people are putting their cards at. So the difference you will see is absolutely staggering, as you can see on the screen. The first one is Archangel Michael, obviously, the usual suspects. The foil TCG low is no less than $1,000 US. However, recorded sales are hovering around $293 on average, which is a spread of 70%. It is crazy. It is obvious manipulation. Some people are trying to pump up these cards. Please, and I can't stress this enough, do your research. When you want to buy cards like this, which are, a nice bling for your decks and all, do not buy the hype. Do not buy into FOMO or anything like this. Just do your research. Look at sites like 130 points or eBay last sold. You take the average of the last 3 sold, and that should give you a better idea what you should pay for the card. So Ano 68% spread, Lilith 43%, Eclipse 42%, Torrid Omphalos 34%. My rule of thumb for this is the spread will be about 10-15% is usually normal. Different variables, different market. We're in Australia, but sometimes we refer to US market prices as well. So you can see Ano market price is about $254, TCG low $800, Lilith $200 market price, TCG low $350. That is $150 price difference. It is way too big to be real. So I hope this will give you a bit of an understanding of how the price action should look. We'll look at the tightest spread as well. So tightest spread is the opposite. The cards are organically moving on due to demand mostly, not to buyouts or anything like this. So we can see it's actually negative for Ethical here and the Magician as well. So market price for Ethical and foil is about $274 US. And TCG low has a card as $250. So that's probably going to lead to more price action in the downside this time, which is, good to monitor as well. If you really want that card, sometimes it's better to wait a bit. And then Magician as well, which was the most expensive foil for the longest time. It is a gorgeous card. Market is $423 US. Spread negative 6%. So you can find a Magician in foil for $400 on TCG Player. So we'll start with non-foil Alpha. Alpha has been in the spotlight last month. A lot of price action on the Frazetta cards. So Cortez and Thais, the Ruler of Thule, the cards in the pledge pack as well, Occult Ritual. We have Eric's Curiosa as well. Pretty much all the unique cards that you cannot find in beta. I've seen some massive gain last month. So let's see if this month is the same. So we start with Death Dealer. So being a Frazetta card, it went up 7.5% across the month of June, which is good in my eyes. It's not too much. It's organic. No big spike or anything like this. And it's sitting at $700 US, which is starting to be quite a bit for one single card. The art's gorgeous. It is pretty much iconic art from Frank Frazetta. In second, third, fourth, and fifth position, we have Pillar of Xeros, Browse, Ruby Core, and Atlantean Fate, which are all good cards. They're utilized in a lot of lists. They're pretty much staple at this point. Ruby Core maybe a little less. But these 4 cards are about, 3%-ish on average. We love to see organic growth in Alpha. This is the collector set, obviously. Let's go about the top losers for Alpha non-foil for the month of June. We have 3 cards from the Pledge Pack. The Pledge Pack was given away during the Kickstarter, and then you get a couple of cards in there. You get a Death Door token as well, which is absolutely gorgeous. So opening the losers today, we have Occult Ritual, which is a Frazetta art. Guile Siren, Pact with the Devil, Sorcerer from the Pledge Pack, and Star Seeds of These I've not really seen much price action realistically. Alpha doesn't really lose value over time anymore. You can see that 2.4% is meaningless realistically over a month. There is not much to talk about in terms of losers for Alpha. Now we're going to toggle to the foils, and this is where it's going to get a bit dicey. We see pretty much the biggest cards for Alpha being Death Dealer, Ex Curiosa, the Courtesan, the Philosopher's Stone, and then Mirror Realm. So they're all on the spread from, let's say, 18% to 26%. Death Dealer market price is about $1,850, but you can only find it on TCG low at about $2,500. That tells us that there is people that are trying to pump these cards. Sadly, the spread is about 25%, but on an expensive card like this is massive. If it was 25% on the $3 card, it would be meaningless, but we're talking about cards that are worth thousands now, so it's nothing to scoff at. Eric's Curiosa foil, market price $1,200, spread of 20%, and then you look at TCG low, price of $1,500, so it's a little less shocking than Death Dealer, but still $300 a price difference is nothing to scoff at. Courtesan stays as well, market price $1,450 and TCG low of $1,800. When it comes to cards that I would keep an eye on, so with the tightest spread, we've got a couple of cores in there. We've got Onyx Core and Amethyst Core, both gorgeous, Melissa Benson art. So Ruler of Thule sits in the good side of our market watch this time, with a market price of $850 and a TCG low price of $1,000. It's a 15% spread. It's nothing crazy. Realistically, this is a card that will see a lot of price action. It will be fluctuating. People will pick up, and then because there's so little supply of this sort of cards, Alpha has a very tight print run, and being able to pull the Ruler of Thule in foil is a pretty rare thing. So having a price difference like this is nothing too dramatic. I think Island Princess is a massive staple. In beta, it's one of the most played cards. In most air lists, some lists is splashing air just to be able to play the princess, to fetches, the ring, your torch from a trinket, so on and so forth. Amethyst Core is sitting at $590. TCG low price would be about $700. And then the Great Old One as well. Great Old One has always been an outlier when it comes to Alpha. I think it's just players that love the card itself. It's really strong. It's powerful. The art is gorgeous. The market price is about $84. Okay, let's move on to beta. Beta being the player set. There is not usually much price action in terms of non-foil, whether it's losers or gainers. So top 5 gainers this month. Lord of Unland sitting at $3.25, which is really cheap. We've got a Grandmaster with it, which is in Elite. It's almost as expensive as the Lord of Unland, which is unique. Grandmaster with it sees a lot of plays in our list as well. Being a 6 cost minion is a bit prohibitive, but drawing 3 cards is a very nice way to replenish your hand. In late game, we also have Polymorph. So Polymorph is one of the most used card removal in Water. Also have Dream Quest, which is some sort of a tutor. You have to lose a minion for a turn, make sure it doesn't get removed in order to fetch a card. But if you manage to pull it off, it's pretty strong because you can fetch any card you want. And to close the top 5, we have Ultimate R, which sits at $5.25. So in our losers, we have 3 calls. We have the Aquamarine, the Ruby, and the Amethyst, which are all 3 seeing a meaningless price action. Realistically, it's about 1%. Our Aquamarine core sits at $49 today. Smokestacks of Knack, Philosopher's Stone as well. The stone is sitting at $82 this month. So not much price action in beta. We'll see if there's anything noteworthy in the foil section. We can see in our thinnest supply, we've got a Pathfinder in foil. So market price is $53, TCG low is 65. That tells us that people are picking up the card either to play as an avatar or to collect. It's hard to tell. We also have River of Flame Disintegrate, which is an elite, and Gigantism. So in the case of Disintegrate, it's the only elite standing out in the top 5. It is purely because people are playing the card. For 3, you manage to banish the minion, and anything he carries is a really, really strong effect. Fire has a lot of hard removal spell, and Disintegrate probably sits at the top of them. So in terms of price, it sits at $82, and then TCG Low has it at $100. When it comes to the cards that I would keep an eye on, better foil, we have the Death Dealer, which is not a Frazetta art. And Death Dealer foil in beta sits at $58 market price, and then TCG Low price $70. The spread is about 15-17% as well, which is indicating that people are picking up the card as well. That price action is actually a good thing because beta has been asleep for the longest time. It's been out for 2+ years now, and there hasn't really been much action besides at the start when the set came out and then people sold their foils. So you can see people are picking up the expensive ones now. We have an Amethyst core, market price $290. TCG low price is at $350. The Philosopher's Stone, which is the most expensive foil in beta, market price $580. TCG low price at $700. This just indicates that people are picking up the stone, and we're most likely to see some upward price action in the month upcoming. Same goes for the Island Princess. Although Island Princess seems a bit inorganic because 17% height spread like this, market price of $207. It is one of the most played cards in beta, but the price action has been a bit too sudden, so I would just maybe wait a little bit more before picking up an Island Princess foil. Same goes for Browse. Browse is one of the most played card in Air, and the market price is $149. TCG price has it at $180. So all these cards are staples. They're played in a lot of lists. Now let's finish with Arthurian Legends. Arthurian Legend just had a restock in Australia. Not sure if it's another print wave or stock has been moved around, but there's no shortage of supply for Arthurian Legend, and you can see that in the price action. No gainers. Realistically, the value of Arthurian Legend went down across the board, which is amazing for players. A little less amazing for collectors, but in the grand scheme of things, Arthurian Legend will do well over time. This is a gorgeous set. It is full of great cards, the tri-side, the ring, so on and so forth. So we'll look at the top losers. Ring of Morrigan, which is great news for people that are looking to pick up a ring, went down 13% across the month of June, sitting at $235. Booty came 10% down, sitting at $42. Witch as well, down 4.5%, sitting at $42. Merlin's Tower and Pendragon Legacy both went down about 4% too. Pendragon Legacy sitting at $12.50. So good news for people that are trying to buy Arthurian Legend card. It's going down, and it is most likely to keep going down for the foreseeable future, at least in Australia, given we're getting more boxes on the way. Let's have a look at the foils. So let's look at if there is any fishy price action in here. So straight away we can tell spreads are very high. 36% is in the no territory. So Ring of Morrigan foil market price $568 US. TCG low price $888. So definitely no sale recorded at this price yet. I would advise caution if you try to pick up cards that are that expensive. Same goes for Morrigan Le Fay. Market price $354 US. TCG low price has it at $544. So same spread of 35%. I would just advise caution. Questing Beast is a new one in our top 5. Spread 31%, so same goes. Be careful when you try to buy this card. Market price $45, TCG low 65. We have a spread of 30-something%, but the price point is way lower. Lady of the Lake and Fields of Camlin. So Fields of Camlin has a higher price point, so market price $122. TCG low is at $175. Now let's go into the top 5, Pendragon Legacy and Vivian the Enchantress. I've seen a decent price action as well, so we just talked about the Legacy. It's a card that's seen more and more play now. Archimago list are playing it. It is pretty decent. You interact with the cemetery, you bring back cards. It is a form of card advantage. Market price $49. TCG low sitting at $70 US. We have Sir Galahad, which is one of the best Sirs out there, sitting at $63 US, and TCG low being at $90 US. Mail-in as well. Mail-in in foil will cost you $70 according to market, and TCG low as it's at $100 US. Lady Zult, same goes. Cards is quite a bit of play. Market price $77 US, and TCG low price of $110. So Arthurian Legend is probably what I would look at this month, definitely, given the supply, possibly oversupply of boxes that are heading through the Australian market, and to an extent in the US as well. If you manage to wait to buy these expensive tri-sides and these expensive foil, well done. That was one of my advice last month. Yeah, this is definitely my pick of the month. There you have it, guys. That concludes our market watch for the month of June. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and then like the video as well. That helps the channel grow. If there's anything you want me to add to this video, please let me know in the comment, and then I'll see you next time.